Pharaoh found himself in a situation that, oh my goodness, this man is a righteous man. I should keep him for myself. So he took him and he said, bring him to me. And now I'm going to put you as a person to be responsible for all the things that you want to do. But here's the thing. Joseph over here, before Pharaoh actually agreed on that, Joseph actually sold himself. Just basically like, when a person is going for an interview, not sold to himself, I mean like, by money, but I mean like basically like advertised himself, because he said that I am good at this and this and this. And there's nothing wrong, by the way, is not to be like arrogant or anything, but like when you're looking for a job, they will ask you, what are your strong points? What are your weaknesses, right? So you have to be honest with them, right? And the same thing also when you want to do dawah, or when you want to do this, I have, for example, a bachelor degree in Islamic studies. I studied under these hands of scholars, blah, blah, things like that. So it's good that other people will have awareness and knowledge about you, but not in a way to show yourself. You see what I'm saying? But you have to be honest, and that actually you are up to the task that you're going to do. You're up to it. You're not just like showing off and you're just saying things, right? So he said, make me to be responsible for these, for the crops and all these things, so I can actually keep them for you. We can build storages. We can put all that food in there, and at the time of the prosperity. And then after the 7 years comes, where people can come and buy food, or we can give, and so on. So he gave him to be the best position in the whole country, was like the highest person right under Pharaoh. Just imagine that. A non-Egyptian man. He is not even a citizen, right there. And he was a slave. Suddenly he jumped to be the master.
He was like a convict. I mean, he was from the prison.
Right. Subhanallah.
Put him in the house.
That is so true. Subhanallah. Yes, subhanallah. So after 7 years passed, now the hardship years started. The famine started. And it affected not only Egypt, but affected all the other areas around it, like Palestine, Syria, Jordan, Sudan, all these countries around. And guess what? The brothers and the family of Yusuf, they are in Palestine. So they were looking for some kind of food. So they heard about Egypt, that Egypt still have some kind of storage of food that they can go and buy. So, and the brothers of Joseph came seeking food, and they entered upon him, and he recognized them. When he saw them, he recognized them. Those are my brothers. Although many years has passed, but they're my blood. I can't just, subhanAllah. And so he asked them, how many? I only see 10 of you. How many are you? That's a big family. And he said, well, we are actually 11. So there is one more brother that you have? Yes. Where is he? Oh, he's still at home. What's his name? Benjamin. So now Joseph knows that he has another brother that he never saw. And I told you last time that he was the youngest at that time. Joseph was still young at that time when he was taken away to Egypt. So now he has another brother, and he would love to meet with him. And also he found out that his brother is actually from the same mother. From the same mother. He had a plan in his mind, And then what he said to his slaves, go ahead and whatever they brought us to sell or buy, just put it back with their stuff. Long time ago, not everything was purchased by money or by currency. So they basically, I guess they brought some stuff to trade, and whatever they brought, Joseph asked them to take it back. And these brothers, they didn't notice until they went home. When they went home, and then they were like, they found out that their stuff, their goods has been returned to them. And that will give them, like a feeling like I have to go back and bring the stuff back. Otherwise, they will think that we're thieves. So we have to take them back. So Joseph did that intentionally so they can come back again to Egypt, Joseph told them, when you come back next time, you better bring your brother with you, because otherwise I will not sell you. Right. So now they have to come back. They have to go back. And they started begging their father. and their father already have a bad experience with them from Joseph. And now Benjamin is the youngest. How am I going to take Benjamin by himself with his brothers? I don't trust his brothers after what happened to Joseph, subhanallah. So they started, begging him. They start begging him and begging him and begging him until finally the father agreed after the brothers, they swore in front of their father that I promise you, I swear by Allah, we will take care of with our brother. We will not let him go. This time, what wrong is going to happen? Last time we plotted against Yusuf. This time there is no plot. We're just going to take him and bring him back. But guess who was the plotter here now? However, also when they came in, when they came in and they saw, and Yusuf saw his brother, he was so emotional about it. I have a brother that I didn't know about. So he took him inside by himself and he told him, I am your brother. And I'm sure that Benjamin was so scared when he knew that. They're like, oh my goodness, my brother is like the secretary, the fire, But he said, shh, don't tell, I have a plan. Don't tell your brothers or anything like that. So Joseph had like a measuring cup or whatever. And they used to use that measuring cup to measure all the grains, and it is made of gold. So he told the slave, listen, you take that grain, that grail or that, cup and put it inside where their stuff is and let them go. So they put the food and they took it with the brothers and they left. Then after like a while, after they left, almost like leaving Egypt, they were on the borders. Suddenly, they heard some people are yelling at them, come back. And they were some people from the army, from the soldiers of Joseph. And they say, you thieves, you took the measuring cup of our master. What? They're like, no way, how could we take something? There is no way, we're not thieves or anything. They're like, okay, let's start and we're going to check your stuff right now. We're going to look inside your stuff. So they started from the oldest. And then it's like, it was like a suspense, scene like this, they're so scared that one of them is going to be a thief, right? And guess what? They found it with the youngest one, with Benjamin. Oh my goodness. Now, what are we going to do? Now, Benjamin has to go back in jail, right? And oh my goodness, our father is going to have a heart attack and he's going to die now. What are we going to do now? We're going to go back all together. Let's go back. So they went back to Joseph. And of course, the oldest one was begging Joseph, please let me instead of him. Let me go instead of him. Our father is very old. And if he knew that there's a brother, Assalamu alaikum, if he knew that there is a brother, our youngest brother is with us, with you, he's going to be really, really sad. He may die. He may get really sick. He's already sick. Please. And Joseph was like, no way, I'm going to let him go. So the oldest decided to stay. He said, return to your father and say, oh, our father, indeed your son has stolen and we did not testify except to what we knew and we were not witnesses of the unseen. And ask the city in which we were and the caravan in which we came, and indeed we are truthful. Jacob started crying and he was so sad of what happened. And remember the first time when he lost Joseph, what did he say? Sabrun Jamil. He said, beautiful patience. And I told you, in order to have this heart of tranquility and peace, you have to use patience as your pillow, You have to have patience. And patience does not mean to wait, but to endure and bear the hardships and the tests. And because of his sorrow, his eyes became white of grief and he lost sight, for he was of that a suppressor. They said, by Allah, you will not cease remembering Joseph. It's been so many years now. You still remember Joseph. You should just forget him by now until you become fatally ill and become of those who perish. You're going to kill yourself. And here Jacob made a dua, a supplication, and he said, I only complain of my suffering and my grief to Allah. And this is a great dua to learn when we have depression, when we have sadness, to go and complain to Allah. Complain to Allah. He said, I only complain of my suffering and my grief to Allah, and I know from Allah that which you do not know. But he never lost hope. He never lost hope. He's still hoping to find Joseph. And he said, oh, my sons, go and find out about Joseph and his brother, and despair not for relief from Allah. Indeed, no one despairs of relief from Allah except of disbelieving people. That's a real faith. That's a real tranquility and peace in the heart. Where can we find this? We only can find it by connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.